Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today, in line with my September no-buy, I am going to be doing, instead of a September doll haul, I'm going to be doing a September anti-haul. I'm going to be going through all of my storage, all of the clothes, all the accessories, all the dolls, all the box dolls that I have, and just deciding what do I really want to keep and what do I want to get rid of. Now, if you watch my channel quite regularly, you'll know that I'm kind of quite neurotic and I change my mind so quickly. Now, I'm not really the kind of person that is a more is more person with my possessions as well as my dolls. So I kind of have this like revolving door of things come in, things go out, constantly just like, I want you, I don't want you, I've bought you, I love you, I don't want you anymore. Let's sell you, let's move on. And that kind of works for me because I tend to live in places where I only have a small amount of space. And right now I'm living at home and I don't really have a lot of space. So having loads and loads of things really stresses me out. And I feel like I'm in a constant, basically pull push with the dolls that I own and the things that I want to sell. So today is going to be useful. I haven't bought anything all month, so it's time to get rid of some stuff. It's time to look at what I've got. It's time to reminisce and then also decide whether or not these things are going to stay or if they're going to go. So the way that I'm going to do this really is we're going to change angle. We're going to put it all out on the floor and we're just basically going to be like, do I want you? Do I want to get rid of you? Am I not sure? And we're going to go from there and we're going to get rid of as much stuff as we can. And I just want to make some space and make some money so that I have some more money to spend on dolls that I do want. He says, this is just like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Anyway, with all that out of the way, we're going to change angle. We're going to look through my storage bin, my accessory bin, my box dolls, clothes, and we're going to just try and get rid of as much stuff as we can and as much stuff as I'm willing to get rid of. So with all that said, if you're new here, my name is Lyle. I make regular content based around loads of different doll brands. So if you're liking the vibe, feel free to subscribe. That rhymed. If you want to press the like button, that would help too. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, so we're back. Here is all my stuff. I've got a coffee. This is going to be really casual. This is going to be really like, I'm just going to be talking. It's going to be streams of consciousness and looking at dolls and just talking rubbish. So feel free to go get yourself a drink before we begin. So let's get into it. So we're going to start here. This is basically my storage bin of dolls that were on display. And it's kind of like the middle ground for a lot of my stuff. If it's on display, I want to keep it. If it's in storage, I either don't have enough space or I'm not sure how I feel. Then I've got another box in the other room, which is like my vintage box. And that's like basically where dolls go to die. So let's get into this and let's have a look at what is sitting in here. Already, there are things in here that have been in here for a while. This isn't particularly organized, but let's start strong, guys. This is Vampirina from Bratzilla's, a line that I absolutely adore. In my last video when I was doing a purge, she was kind of like a project. I was going to reroute her. I was going to do some repaint. I was going to get rid of some of the staining. And I think at this point, I think it makes more sense to sell this. This is like a grail for a lot of people. And I think that it's better for me to sell this, and if anybody else wants to reroute her, repaint her, find her outfit, get rid of staining, they can do that because I think they'd appreciate that process more than me doing it preemptively. So I think I'm going to put her in the sell pile. Absolutely adore Bratzilla's, absolutely adore Vampirina, but I already have her and she's complete. So I think she's just collecting dust and could be appreciated by somebody else. So she's going to go on the sell pile. Next up is the reproduction of Pretty and Punk Megan, and I have the original, and I prefer the original, and I do love this doll. I love her face so much, and a part of me wanted to do something with her, but I just think that at this point, as much as she has great, like I love this screening so much. She's so pretty. I think that, once again, I think this is a doll that somebody else would appreciate, and yeah, there's no reason for me to keep this. I just feel like at this point I'm just holding on to her for the sake of holding on to her, and somebody else would enjoy her. And yeah, so I'm going to put her in the sell pile as well. This is the Bratzilla's Budget Cloetta. She's not going anywhere. Love this doll. I have plans to reroute her. Her polypropylene isn't so bad. Isn't like super, super dry, but I love this doll. I just love black and pink together. It's why I love Draculaura. I love this doll. I know this isn't necessarily the most like fashionable design. And I know she's a little bit like, I don't know, like juvenile skewing, but I love this doll a lot. And yeah, when I found her for a good deal, I was like, I have to have you. So she's kind of a project for another day, but she's staying. Like, there's absolutely no way I'm not getting rid of her. I love her. I love her so much. So next up is Skulltimate Secrets Series 1 Draculaura. My light balance is not great. Anyway, this is actually the first doll that I ever showed on my channel, I think. Oh, which is making me, I was so sure. Like, I haven't really thought about what I was going to do today and like dolls that I had in here, but she's a doll I've had for a while, and I've been like, I'm just not necessarily that excited about her anymore. But now that I think about it, this is like the first doll. Like, if you go all the way back to my January haul, I actually bought her for myself for Christmas last year for a really, really good deal. And yeah, you know what? Just saying that, she's the first doll that I showed on this channel, so she is going to stay. I think I was skewing towards selling her, but she's super cute, and she's kind of like a representative of like one of the first lines of G3. And I just love Draculaura. I love G3 Draculaura so much. So, you know what? I've been convinced she is going to stay. Now, another absolute incredible doll. Bratzilla's Midnight Beach Fiona Fins. Love her. She's not going anywhere. She's just in here because I haven't had space for her. I think this doll kind of represents like the pluses and minuses of Bratzilla's, like the good parts and the bad parts. I think this doll is just super, super stunning. So, so gorgeous. But her body is just so flimsy, and yeah, I'm keeping her. She's not going anywhere. I would never. I don't think I'd be able to find her again. But yeah, she's staying. I'm just, once again, not sure what I'm going to do with her. So then this is, we've got our Switcher Witches here. She's staying. I only got her a couple of months ago. I've got plans for her, really. Like, I've got plans for a whole Bratzilla's like section of a display, so she's not going anywhere. Then we've got the other Switcher Witches, the 2-pack. Now, I really like these two, but I think I've had my fun with them, and I think I enjoy this girly a little bit more. I think these two are super, super interesting and really stunning, but I think that as a representation of Bratzilla's Switcher Witch, I kind of prefer her. I think she's a lot less, there's a lot less going on, and I think she's a bit more cohesive and simple. I'm going to put these in the maybe pile for now. I'm pretty sure I want to let them go, but I really enjoyed the video that I made with them. And I'm not sure if that's going to hold me back from selling them. Staying, maybe. Oh, these are like accessories and stuff, so I'll put them with them. Right, this is where we're going to be getting into a lot of Rainbow High, the Bratzilla's I already have. I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit because I feel like if I talk too much about each thing, we're going to be here for ages. So I'm going to go with this one first because I see her tail. Oh, what did I do with her clothes? I must have put her clothes away. I tend to, when I put dolls in storage, like strip them of everything so that nothing gets stained. I'm a little bit paranoid about stuff like that. I don't think I've ever experienced it before, so I don't know why I'm so like vigilant with it. But yeah, this is Mermaids Slumber Party Bryn. Doll I absolutely adore. She's not going anywhere. She has to stay. I had a really big moment with Mermaids like towards the beginning of this year. I think it was like January and February. Really fell into the Mermaids like pipeline, and I love this line. I love this line so much. And you know what, like unironically, genuinely, like I'm so obsessed with the Mermaids like TV show theme tune is such a banger, like genuinely such a banger. Like I will just pop it on to listen to it because I love it. It's so like, I don't know what it is, I just love it. I think it's a banger. Anyway, this is an amazing doll. Love Bryn. She's not going anywhere, and I've been thinking about mermaids again recently, and there are a couple of mermaid dolls that I've been thinking about, well, for months, to be completely honest. They've just been in the back burner in my head that I do really, really want. Oh, I might be falling back into my mermaids phase. But yeah, amazing doll. Love her, love her, love her, love her colour scheme, love her face, love micro braids, as we know. She's not going anywhere. She's on the stay pile. Right, we're gonna be getting, I think, to some like stuff that I'm gonna be really like attached to, and some stuff I'm not. So first of all, looking like a little burrito, we've got Ash Silverstone from Shadow High. He's not going anywhere. I don't know what to do with him, but I love him. He's a little, I think his face mold is so cute, and I want Rex as well, but yeah, he's not going anywhere. He has to stay. I just have so much nostalgia. I feel like, really genuinely, random side point to do with Shadow High and Mermaids, I just have so much nostalgia for those lines in a weird way, because I didn't actually start collecting mermaids and like being interested in mermaids until the beginning of this year, when they'd been discontinued. I think they got discontinued in 2023, so they'd already been like off the shelves. I mean, we had the Slumber Party line in the UK, but they'd been off the shelves for a while and I hadn't really paid attention to them. 2022 to like 2023, I feel like was such a big, I mean, it was when I started stepping into doll collecting, but I feel like it was a really big time for the industry, specifically with Shadow High and Rainbow High and Mermaids and LOL, and Monster High was coming back. And that's just a really interesting point, like time period for the doll industry, and I'd really like to make a video about that time period, and specifically what was going on with MGA. I feel like that's such an interesting period of time that I'd love to talk about. I just have a lot of nostalgia for like that period of time and a lot of the dolls that came out around then. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Oh, right, here we go. This is going to be a tough one for me, guys. Oh, this is Rosie Redwood from Shadow High Series 3. Oh, Rosie, I really do have a little connection. I have a connection with this doll, and it's difficult for me because I've talked about it before. I really had a massive attachment to this doll a couple of years ago, and the more distance I have from that time, like, I just think Shadow High Series 3 is really odd. I want to have a doll that represents Series 3 in my collection, but I know who it's going to be, and I've known since I first saw them that was one that I was really interested in, but I kind of shopped around and tried different ones. But anyway, Rosie is a doll that I think has a lot of potential and could be a really top tier doll, but her face mold is just, I'm not a fan of this face mold, and I think her makeup is a little bit strange, and she's got a really big forehead, and you know what? I also have a big forehead, so I'm not holding it against you. She's my little, like, Coke girly, like the drink. Red Coke was, like, my favourite drink for ages, and she was kind of like my little representation of that. But the more distance I've had with her and having her in storage, this face mold isn't really for me. I don't know, I just think there's something strange about the way that she looks, and I feel really bad saying that because I really, really loved this doll for a period of time. And in theory, I could restyle her, but I think that, I don't know, there's something about this face mold that isn't necessarily for me. I think she has the same face as Lola, and Lola's one of my favourite dolls, but Lola's face is very different. I don't know if it's the way that the makeup is done on her face, but she's just got some bug eyes going on, and you know what? Good for you, girl. She is pretty, but I think the time has come that she needs to move along. Oh, Rosie, I'm so sorry. She's going to go on the sell pile. I feel like I'm gaslighting myself right now. Do I think she looks pretty? Right, I'm putting her in the maybe pile. I'm putting her in the maybe pile. Wait, what is this? This will be a Bratzilla's, won't it? No? Oh, right, okay. Love this doll. I need to get her out. This is like one of my favourite dolls from Monster High G3. I'm genuinely like, if I was to like, my favourite character is most definitely Draculaura, but Cleo is such a close second. I think that I wish that they would use screenings like this and her Buried Secret screening more often. This doll's staying, she's not going anywhere. When I've got more space, she's definitely coming out. She is the Monster Fest Cleo, and yeah, this is a great doll. This is, I think, one of the first G3 dolls that I bought last year, I think. And I remember when she went on sale and I was like, you know what, she's on sale. I think she was like on sale for like £18, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get her, I'm gonna take the plunge, and yeah. She's got a really pretty face. I'm just a side glance person, and I just feel like side glances just make every doll screening better. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of dolls in Monster High that have front glances, and I think they look dead behind the eyes. Anyway, really strong doll. She's staying. This is, I think this is the Bratzilla's. Yeah, so this is Back to Magic Megana. She's not going anywhere. She's staying. Love her. Love her. I just love, honestly, the contrast between the blue with her like ginger hair with like black streaks. I just really, really stunning doll. Love her. She's staying. Right. Who is this? Carla. She's not going anywhere. Carla is probably one of the I think it's probably one of the dolls in my collection I have the strongest attachment to. I was pretty much saying it before, I just have such strong nostalgia for 2022 and 2023 because that was like the beginning of my time collecting dolls. And when I tell you, when the leaks were going around for series 2 of Shadow High, I was so hyped for this doll, and I love her, and I need to get her out. I need to make some dedicated space for Shadow High because Shadow High Series 2 is just everything. Anyway, she's not going anywhere. She's staying. What's next? Right, so this is a doll that I have like a really like odd relationship with. This is Nicole Steele from Shadow High Series 1. She's the first Shadow High doll that I bought. She was the first doll that I, as an adult collector, went into store and picked out for myself and bought. It's not this specific doll. I actually ended up selling the original one that I bought just because I didn't know about like face wonk and stuff like that and eye wonk. And the one that I bought was really like genuinely super misprinted. Like she had like one eye was like normal, the other one was like all the eyeliner here was like outside, like it wasn't printed correctly. Anyway, so I got rid of her and I bought her as a replacement, and I am not going to sell her. I think the face is what carries this doll for me, like massively. The face is what carries this doll. I'm not exactly a huge fan of her aesthetic. I do love a sports theme, for example, Scorching. I'm still going on about Scorching. If she had like a little Scorching, oh my god, can you imagine her in like a little like black and white Scorching-esque outfit? Oh my god, she would absolutely eat in that. Anyway, Nicole's not going anywhere. I don't necessarily love her fashions, but she represents the beginning of this whole hobby and like the permission to do all this for me. And I couldn't get rid of her just because, yeah, she's one of the dolls that is like the beginning of, she just represents like the beginning of this whole hobby and the ability for myself to give myself permission to do something that I really would have wanted as a kid and explore it. And yeah, she's not going to go anywhere. Oh god, what's happening here? Right, so this is the reproduction of Girls' Night Out Dana. Oh, she is really pretty. She is really pretty. And I feel like it would be silly of me to sell her. I'm not sure about her. I don't necessarily have a strong emotional connection to her. I think that she is so pretty though. I couldn't get rid of her. I feel like this would be another hairstyle that I would try to... You know what? Actually, I'm a liar. I basically redid some of this hairstyle. This was like the original Fashion Pixies Lena. She sent me with the edge. Anyway, yeah, this is the reproduction. I actually bought like a dishevelled Bratz doll just to rebody her because I hated the texture of the glitter that was on the body. Anyway, I don't necessarily feel like I've got a super strong attachment to this doll, but I feel like selling her would be really silly. I'm going to put her in the maybe pile. As I said before, I haven't really thought a huge amount about what I was going to do today, but I thought that Dana was going to be one of the dolls that I was like, you know what, I'm finally going to let her go. But we will put her in the maybe pile for now. This box doesn't look very successful, like looking over at what I've done so far. The first two things I pulled out were the things that I'm like, bye. Okay. Right. Now this girlie was an impulse purchase. I bought her because I mean, this is a gorgeous doll. Like, let's be completely honest, this is a really gorgeous doll, but I'm not really an LOL person. I'm more of like an LOL tweens person. To be fair, oh my god. The clothes, what she is wearing, these clothes are so well made. I just don't think I'm an LOL person. And the funny thing is when I bought her on sale on Amazon, like a while ago. Like it must be over a year. It must be over it must be over a year. I bought her an impulse because I was like, she looks like the Candylicious Fierce doll. And this is my way of like having the Candylicious Fierce doll without her actually releasing. Her clothes are really amazingly made. I just don't think I'm an LOL person. I like my tweens that I've got. And I don't think I'd sell my tweens. I'm going to put her on the sell pile, which is really sad because like I just haven't, since I bought her, I had her out for like a couple of days and I just put her away. And she's been away most of the time. But that also means that somebody else would get to appreciate her. She's such a stunning doll. Like she's really well made. Really, really well made. I just don't think I'm an LOL person. So she goes on the sell pile. I feel like I know what's coming next. Yeah, this is the 2-pack Luna that I have, and I think she's the best Luna. And I went through a whole rigmarole trying to find a bodysuit that would fit, and I bought what's her name? Mila Barrymore. I used her top, and I bought Crystal Bailey's tights just to give her a bodysuit. She's not going anywhere. She was a gift from my mum. My mum bought me the Sunny and Luna 2-pack as like a little, just as a gift. And it was kind of like, for me, this 2-pack was like the last hurrah. I think this is one of the last releases before the Rainbow High reboot came in. And I just love this doll. She's a gift. And also just represents the end of an era. I think around this release is when that song that they did a music video for Rainbow High, and it was kind of like everyone was like, oh, this is the end. I don't know if we thought Rainbow High was getting cancelled, but we knew a reboot was coming. Anyway, love her, she's not going anywhere. And then that must mean that in here, yeah, Sunny. You see, I couldn't possibly separate the twins. I think this is going to be one of the dolls that in the future people are going to be rabid for. And yeah, I'm well more of a Shadow High person than a Rainbow High person. But I can't separate the twins. She's going to stay. She's going to stay. So I think this is going to be more of, yeah. So Witchy Princess, Angelica, she's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. And then that must mean that, yeah, so this is my reroute. This is a mess. This is a mess. This is Sienna Karma. I gave her a little nylon reroute. I've tried to do the bangs. I've messed the bangs up. She just, the bangs are banging. Do you know what I mean? Like I can fix this and I know I can. I gave her a reroute just because she was a Polly Queen. Oh my god, nylon hair feels so nice. I love how cold it is. Anyway, she's staying. So right now we're not doing great we're not doing great for the doll purge at all. Just let me move this out of the way. Okay, so we've got two things that are coming up next. Yeah. So this doll is Victoria Antique from Bratzilla's, new in box. She is actually not this doll specifically, but I had a Victoria Antique that I bought on Facebook Marketplace years ago, and that was the first doll that began my really began the journey of doll collecting, and this character holds such a special place in my heart. And if I could go back in time, I said to myself, I'm going to sell my out-of-box Victoria, because she was missing a couple of bits and pieces, and I was like, if I find her new in box on eBay, I'm going to buy her. It's funny that, because I love this doll, and I've actually completely reversed my opinion now. In theory, I could just open this doll, but it feels so wrong that a doll that's been in a box for so long and just isn't necessarily like easy to find. It just doesn't feel right for me to unbox this doll, and I feel like a lot of the time Bratzillas make more sense in the box just because they're not so sturdily made. Anyway, I'm going to put her on the sell pile, but I'm going to have the caveat of I want to find a replacement first. Now this doll isn't necessarily like, the box isn't in great shape at all. Like this, when I got it on the eBay listing, it was like this. So in theory, I could just open this doll. I just think that it makes less sense for me to open this up. Even though I know the box is kind of like damaged and whatever, but I just think it would be such a shame to do that. And I think it makes more sense for me to sell the inbox one as an inbox doll and buy a one that's out of the box, because I think the other thing is like that also frees me up with, it doesn't really matter if the hair's caught as long as she's got the clothes and whatever, because this doll has polypropylene and I'd like to give her a reroute. Anyway, she's gonna go in the sell pile, which is funny because there were two on Vinted at the beginning of this month, and because I was doing a no buy, I could have bought one already and they both sold, so it is what it is. Next up we have Garden Mysteries Ultimate Secret Draculaura. Now, I have a lot to say about this line. I have a lot to say about Ultimate Secrets just in general, and I don't know where I'm going to be able to express those feelings, so I'm going to express them now. So lock in, because you're about to see me absolutely rant and go like full unhinged mode talking about this line. These thoughts are basically have been triggered by, I watched Fairy Tale Dolls did a video the other day reviewing the new Oasis Ultimate Secrets line, and I left a comment in their comment box which basically describes how I feel about this, and I'm going to try and articulate it really simply and get to the point and not ramble. So basically, my biggest gripe with Ultimate Secrets is I feel, and I know I'm an adult, and I know I'm not the target demographic, and I don't know about what market research says, but I feel like these big plastic lockers take away from the most important part of this line, which is the doll. This line is a premium price. Here in England, they are £36.99. And I think that converts to like $40. I could be wrong. I'll put it on the screen how much it converts to. But I feel like these plastic lockers are like at the detriment to the main product, which is the doll, and the fact the doll has polypropylene hair, which I think is bad. I think that the fashions and the variety of fashions in most of these lines are good. I think they're well made, but I think that a deluxe priced doll should not come with polypropylene hair. And I just think that the gimmick is irrelevant. Once you've done it once, okay, cool, I can put some clothes up in a hanger and whatever, or I've got a locker that I can store things in, but I just think it's not good. I think it's irrelevant, and I think that it detracts from the doll. And the final point is just that I think that it's so bad for the environment that these things exist. Like, this is plastic for the sake of plastic. Do you know what I mean? And I know that, I guess I could say that about any doll that I collect, but like, I'm just not, I don't know. I just feel like my final thoughts on Ultimate Secrets is that I just think the locker retracts from the doll, and all it does is inflate the price of the products. Like, why would I pay for a £36.99 doll when a couple of years ago I could have got, and I know that inflation and stuff like that, but like Shadow High Series 1 and Rainbow High Series 4 were not this expensive in England, and they came with so much more. So many more pieces, so many more well-created clothing pieces, a stand, a comb. I don't know, I just have like a personal vendetta against Ultimate Secrets. And with that said, do I want the Oasis Draculaura? Absolutely. Am I going to buy her at full price? No, I'm probably going to get her second hand. Anyway, and then just a final point of what I was saying before. The front glance for Draculaura, I just think makes her look high. So there's that. She will be going back in her locker, and I am going to be selling her because, yeah, I've had her for months and months and months, and I've never unboxed her, and there's something here that I like, but I'm just gonna move on. Move on because, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna shift the way that I'm sat because I'm in pain. So I'm really worried about opening this. Like, I'm really worried about opening this because this is just clothes. This is like clothes and bits and pieces, and there's just a lot in here that I don't even know what I'm gonna do with. So let's get into this. Right, so first point of call, this is Wingsy, which is Bratzilla's Mummy Ghana's pet. I think I was going to reroute this doll, this toy, because it's so dry and just like polypropylene. I do actually have some Saran hair left over, but I'm going to make the executive decision I'm going to sell this because I'm not using it, and they're massive. Bratzilla pets are huge. Maybe I'll regret selling this, but I only bought it for a couple of quid, and I'll probably be able to find another one for a couple of quid. So if I do, I'll just replace it. So he is going in the sell pile. These are all just little knickknacks, like little Animal Crossing villages and stuff. So they're okay to stay. It's Ash's clothes. This is all just Rainbow and Shadow High clothes. This is all my Brat's clothes. This is all my Bratzilla's clothes. You know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm actually going to have a little think. All that I really have in here. So this is where I keep my stands. This is Lola's box. This is just full of like stands and bits and pieces. And then I've just got my Cree production boxes at the bottom. So that is obviously my Draculaura box. This is my Operetta box. And then I've just got random LOL and LOL tween accessories and earrings. And then just combs. This is just like, I'm not going to go through all of this. Maybe I will, but I think I'll do it off camera just because there's a lot of stuff here and I need to get the clothes for the dolls that I'm going to be selling anyway. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right now. We've got all the things that are going to stay and are confidently going to stay. Why is Ash the only one that has like a cover up? Anyway, this is the maybe pile and this is the sell pile. So I'm going to have a little think about this off camera and I'll get the dolls dressed that I'm going to sell. And yeah, so I'll be back when I have made my choice. I thought I would just take this opportunity to show you the other dolls that I have that are not in the running to be chopped. So these are most of the dolls that would be on display right now if I had the shelves up, which I still don't. Still haven't painted the wall, still haven't found another shelf. So these girlies are just waiting in the spare room, which has kind of like become a dumping ground for all my extra bits and pieces and dolls and stuff. There's my tweens. These are so cute. I love these two. These are like the LOLs that I really love. But yeah, these girlies are not on the chopping block. They're just chilling, waiting to be back in the other room on display. So yeah. So after so much deliberation and thought and rummaging, here are the results of the anti-haul. So I really thought about it and I decided, I mean, a lot of these, like she was going to go, they were going to go. These two, I really had to think about it, but I decided to let them go. Whilst I really enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making the video that I did with these, and I still actually really like that video. I think it's really fun. I think it makes more sense for me to just stick with the one Switcher Witch that I have, just because these dolls are, I love them, but they're degrading. Like there's cracking on her top and her skirts. I just think it makes sense to condense and have less, and the representation of the Switcher Witch will just be this girly here. So yeah, so I'm gonna let those go. Perla is going. I found all of her bits and pieces. I've got a stand, I've got this random thing, I've got loads of stuff. So all of her stuff is there, so she's complete. I had a little rummage in the bags of clothes and found these little Bratzilla's dresses, so they're gonna go. I had another one of Rosie's jackets, which was from, I think, a lot I bought ages ago. So I'm gonna sell that separately. Rosie, unfortunately, has to go. I have been thinking about it, and like, you know what? She actually looks pretty on camera, to be honest. She doesn't look so bad, but in person, she looks a lot more like, her skin tone looks a bit more white here, but in person it's got like more of like a lavender tone to it. And the more that I stare at it, I'm seeing the pinky undertones of that colour, and she kind of looks like a corpse, and that's like not... I love this doll, and I feel I had a moment where I was like, do I want to sell her? Do I want to get rid of her? But I just... yeah, I think it's time for me to let her go. I think that even though I do love her, the things that I didn't like about her are still kind of like plaguing me, and I think that even if I held on to her for a bit longer, I don't think I'd have her out, and I think she'd just be taking up space in storage, and she would go eventually. Obviously Victoria's going to go. I'm going to wait until I find a replacement for her out of box, and then obviously Dracula is going to go as well. So that is my purge. That is the anti-haul. That is the dolls that I'm going to be selling, and I'll be grateful for the space. I'll be grateful for the money to spend on more dolls. Yeah, and I think it makes sense. I think I've got a nice little mix of things over here that really like speak to me. I decided obviously with Dana, she's going to stay. I do really like this doll. I just don't have very many like, I don't know, like night out, like formal kind of like themed dolls, at least off the top of my head. So yeah, maybe I'll just have to get another girls' night out or something a little bit more night out. I mean, she could probably go with like Magic Night Out Vampirina, and maybe like Scary Sweet Birthday Draculaura. I guess that makes sense. But anyway, these are the girls that are staying, and the boy. And yeah, these are girls that are going. So with all that said, that is pretty much it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.